Good morning everyone, and welcome to today's video. I'm going to share with you a little bit how we save money. We go to the grocery store every Sunday. Now I know that's a very unusual time, but we go on a Sunday because all of their meat is really marked down. Instead of $7.66 for this small steak, I only paid $4 and some odd change. Another way that we save lots of money is we take one little steak like this and we're going to cut it up and make it into beef stew for today's recipe. So if you take meat like this and you cut it up really fine, you can feed more people and they don't quite realize they're not eating as much of meat. Buying really heavily reduced meat and being able to cut it up saves lots of money. Now you need to find at your grocery store when they mark down their meats. We asked here at Wise Markets, and they said on a Sunday. They usually mark down their meat. That way for Monday, they have all fresh meat. Now, when they mark down their meat, it's really important that you either cook it that day or you wrap it up really well and you freeze it right away. You can't let it sit in your refrigerator like you could fresh meat because now it's already at its expiration date. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the meat in the crock pot, and then I'm going to be adding some other ingredients. One of the things I'm finally implementing in my life after being, on this earth 53 years, is that a lesson that my mom always taught me. She said at the end of every day, get that day finished, clean up, and get started for the next day. And boy, has that made a difference in my life. So all of these carrots and all of these potatoes, I actually peeled the day before, that night, and I soaked them in cold water. Now this morning, bright and early, all of that prep work is done, and now all I need to do is, as you can see, I'm cutting some of the potatoes down just a little bit more. Otherwise, I would have had to wake up, I would have had to peel all the potatoes, I had to get all the carrots ready, I would have had to do all of that, and it just makes my day so much longer when I didn't prep the day before. Some of you will remember that I often went to the Mennonite grocery store and I could get things really cheap. It's been quite a few months since we've gone. I think it was early in the summer. I used to get these seasoning packets really cheap there. I'm not buying so much of that sort of thing. I think it was 99 cents, but I'm going to be using it up. So we just have some of that seasoning mix to go with it. And they had a lot of organic food, but it end date was expired. And I really like going there. It's somewhat far for us, and the price of gas, it's just better to stay local. I'm cutting some more of these potatoes up. I see they're pretty chunky, and now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go on to the rest of the meal. Once again, I am making my onion rolls, and I'm using some canned milk that I found in the pantry. I know I repeat myself so many times, but to make these onion rolls are so easy. It's so convenient, and there's no preservatives in it. It's amazing, and I make them every year in the jar, and it lasts me a year. If you're wondering why I'm doing a voiceover today, is my husband is watching something on YouTube, and I really don't like always taking over his space with my videos. I like to give him some time to be able to do the things that he enjoys as well. And that way I can still make my videos, but don't have to tell him, Kenny, oh Kenny, could you please turn off the computer for just a moment? So I am making some homemade rolls today, and one of the ways I save money is I run the crock pot and I use it as a way to rise my bread dough as well. So on days where I'm baking bread or I'm making rolls, I always have the crock pot going. I realize I cannot live without my crock pot. It saves me tons of money, literally tons of money a year, because I don't have big ovens like normal people do. I just have a little toaster oven, and that takes a lot of electricity to be running that when my crock pot can serve two purposes. This is the onion bread dough. I'm making this for when our daughters are over tomorrow. So it's all ready to shape into rolls, and I'll show you how I can rise the bread for free. So you can shape them into small rolls or large ones, whatever size you want. It's going to make me about 2 pans full. I am just about out of my mix. I'm going to have to mix that again because I cannot live without this stuff. This stuff is absolutely amazing, and it's so frugal. It only takes pennies to make it. All right, so here's our crock pot. What you're going to do is you're going to turn the lid upside down. You're going to put your cloth over it like this. And now you can put your bread on top. So normally I don't have 2 pans, but I'm going to use it with 2. Just going to put it like that. And now they're both going to rise. So I'll put another cloth on top, a way that our bread can rise. So super duper easy. I was using a heating pad, but I found out this works even better, and it's free. So we're using the energy to make 2 different types of food, and I think this is a win-win because it works perfect every time. It's not too hot, so it's not going to kill the yeast. It's a perfect place to have your bread dough rise. Just about 45 minutes, they rose to double. I'm gonna go ahead and bake them. All right, and just like that, it's finished. So I'm gonna go ahead and let them cool off, and then I can have them for a meal. I've always enjoyed sampling my food on camera, but some people are offended by that and they don't like it. I want you to give me in the comments below, yay or nay, do you think I should continue to sample my food on camera, or would you rather me just showing you the food at the end of the video? All right, so I'm going ahead and mixing another batch for some more meals that I have to make this week. And I'll just keep rising the dough and baking. Remember, if you want this recipe, take a look in the description box and at the end of this video. There's all the information that you will need.